We didn't have the quarterbacks I felt were qualified to get us going. I said, hey, there's a guy in Canada, won Grey Cups up in Vancouver and beat us many times. So we went and got Joe Kapp.
In 1967, Joe Kapp left the CFL and his off-season job at a food company.
I sold more Squirrel brand peanut butter than anybody in the history of peanut butter. And so that's why they call me Nutty Joe.
There may have been another reason. In his Viking debut, Kapp entered trailing 32-0 against Deacon Jones and the Rams.
And so I go in there, I got to do something different. So we get to the line of scrimmage, and I said to Deacon, "You."
His game echoed his personality.
Don't be calling me no cookie.
He was ill-mannered and unpredictable, but above all else, he was tough.
I could have been nice, but I don't think I played nice. I don't like to be nice in the middle of a contest.
Nothing about Kapp was nice, not even his throws.
I did not use the laces. I did not use the laces, and that's probably unique.
He threw some passes that they looked like ducks, but they got in the hands of the receivers.
If that's what they're seeing, I mean, I can question their vision or their judgment on what's a spiral.
I think over the years...
Those who questioned Kapp did so at their own peril.
The best national... First of all, I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this discussions about these quarterbacks. How the do I talk about that? Damn, you're asking me to make these all-time statements for 30 million people, and I'm going on record here, you know, and you could spend an hour on each question.
We needed somebody to kind of get this team off the mark, and Joe was that kind of a guy. Could he throw the ball with spirals? Can he throw it long enough, accurate enough? I hadn't measured all those things. All I knew, he was a winner.
The nicest thing he ever said about me was, Joe Kapp will never stop looking for a way to win the game. That's what I got from it. On the other hand, the only thing he ever said to me personally up close was 3 words: get a haircut.
The quarterback was one of the team's most popular players.
He just got along well with everybody. I don't know whether it had anything to do with him being a Mexican-American.
I mean, I didn't think of him as a Mexican until he always ordered tequila.
In 1967, Kapp had a chance to be the toast of Minnesota by completing a season sweep of the mighty Green Bay Packers. With the game tied and less than 2 minutes to play, Kapp began driving the Vikings to the winning score.
I made my pivot to hand the ball off to Billy Brown, and my mistake, I fumbled the ball.
The Packers recovered, won the game, and Kapp was inconsolable. At the post-game gathering, Kapp recounted the loss with number 59 linebacker Lonnie Warwick.
We got in a discussion as to who lost the game. He said the defense. I said, no, I did.
Here's 2 guys said, I lost the game. No, I lost the game. You know, I did this, and I really messed up. And the other guy says, yeah, but I did this, and I really messed up. And the next thing you know, they had taken it outside.
Kapp refused to back down and exchanged punches with Warwick, one of the Vikings' fiercest hitters.
My effort was to show him that the offense was just as tough as our own defense, and that was the stupid reason for the fight. Next morning, I get a call.
On the other end was Warwick.
He says, Joe, how you feeling? I said, well, my left eye's closed. And he says, we better go tell Coach Grant that, you know, there's no problem, no dissensions. Well, I'll be there to get you.
That's what tequila can do to you once in a while. So that was over and done with. I mean, we talked about it, and, you know, I wanted to downplay it. And of course, the next day, they were buddies. They were kissing cousins from then on.
After finishing 1967 with just 3 wins, solidarity became the team's battle cry. In 1968, they won their first division title. In 1969, they adopted a new slogan, 40 for 60. 40 players committed to 60 minutes of football. Kapp was injured for the season opener. Still, he was determined to show his devotion to the cause.
I stood on the sideline and rooted for him. And I'm part of this team. And it's a team goal that we're doing. That's 40 for 60. Had a tremendous game against the Giants, but we lost. And I felt he had done nothing to lose the starting job. So on the Wednesday, Bud says that I'm going to start. And I started to say, but he walked away.
The intention all along was that, you know, Kapp was going to be our quarterback. I know Joe's mentality. Joe responds to challenges. He's ready for Baltimore, believe me.
The Baltimore Colts, the Vikings' Week 2 opponent, were the defending NFL champion. In the 1968 playoffs, they eliminated the Vikings by attacking Kapp.
They did a very dangerous 9-man kind of a blitz. And we didn't catch up with it.
They had beat him up. He was out for revenge.
I looked at that film all off season. So when they came to us in the 69 season to play up at Met Stadium, that same blitz didn't work for them that day.
Midway through the third quarter, Kapp had already thrown 5 touchdowns.
I left the game twice. Gary went in, but they knocked him out. They broke his nose. So I go back in, and they're still blitzing, so we throw a couple more.
Against one of the best defenses in football, Kapp threw 7 touchdowns. No quarterback has thrown 7 in a game since.
There's 7 touchdown passes that day. We did that, and at least 5 of them are spirals.
In the NFL's Central Division, the final stretch of the season meant games in bad weather.
I was told that, oh, Joe Kapp will do real well in Minnesota because he's been to Canada. But you never get used to it, and that's one of Bud Grant's coaching points, that nobody can ever get used to it. You just have to mentally get yourself prepared.
Despite the occasional cheat, the ability to withstand the cold became a matter of pride among the Viking players.
You watch the Vikings come on the field, we don't have sleeves.
Nice day.
And I remember Bill Brown walking down in front of the other team, scratching the scabs off his arm, letting it start to bleed before the game in the cold weather. Just, you know, a little psychological thing that they got involved in. They bought it, but they did it more than I did. I just said, you know, left it up to them, and they parlayed it into an advantage for us.
And yes, I think it was an advantage, and but not much, you know, 1.5 maybe.
The Vikings parlayed the makeup of Metropolitan Stadium and the 20-foot Viking statue that stood in the end zone into another psychological advantage.
And the sun would drop over the back of the stadium. Wind would come up. The temperature would drop 10, 15, sometimes 20 degrees. We would, under our breath, start saying, Odin, 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 Viking God of War. All of a sudden, the wind would come. Odin, Odin. This chill would come through. You see your opponents going, what manner of men are these? You know, these dudes are crazy. They thought we had some kind of a spiritual thing going on, and it was simply that it was going to get cold.
In Week 13, the Vikings played the snowiest game in Minnesota history.
Oh, he's got it! He's got it!
The conditions did little to cool Joe Kapp's fiery spirit.
Wait a minute!
Down 7-3, Kapp lobbied Grant to let him throw.
Whose ball we playing with? Let's go now. That's our ball.
And Joe kept saying, well, when are we going to open up, Coach?
I really feel that we can line up there and I can just 34, 35 punch at them. Field conditions aren't that conducive to that kind of a game.
And I'd say, Joe, as long as the game is this tight and it was close, we'll just do what we're doing.
Need something, maybe something with a stop or a check. I'm thinking flats and wire bleak, bootleg. Flat is tough too.
He was a real ally on the sideline, even though you knew he was Mr. Conservative.
So the 81 divide or something, the basic play just so we can 61 3-stop, something to...
If I'd have truly listened to him, I probably wouldn't have made it in the NFL because I had to get more offense going. I had to take control of the signal calling where I did it my way.
Well, the man hold you back. The man hold the horse back.
Finally, along the fourth quarter, we're behind, and I said, okay, Joe, we're going to open up now.
I got Gene Washington. I said, Gene, we're going to split the zone. Now, how do you want the ball? You want the laces up or on the side, or where do you want the laces? Boom.
Kapp back to pass. Sets up, trying to throw deep. He's got his man out there. Got it at the 15, the 10, the 5. Washington over for a touchdown. Gene Washington.
The win was the Vikings' 12th straight. For the playoffs, the Vikings would enjoy home field and all the advantages that come with it. The Vikings finished the regular season 12-2. At the annual awards banquet, Joe Kapp was named the team's most valuable player.
Here I am at the banquet knowing that the reason for our success is every department, every player contributed to this thing.
I know for a fact that there is no most valuable Viking. There are only 40 most valuable Vikings.
This team has earned this thing together, and thank you for, saying so, but I don't want it.
40 for 60, put it that way. I just can't accept this. Thank you.
They were spontaneous. I just couldn't accept it. The credo of 40 for 60 is more valuable to me.
I thought it was a great gesture on his part. And Joe always had good timing. I mean, these things look spontaneous, but Joe's he's a thinker, and this was something that wasn't spontaneous. He's something he'd planned.
Find the hole! Find the hole! Win, Smitty, win!
The Vikings trailed 20-14 in the fourth quarter, and their championship run was in jeopardy.
On occasion, if I didn't see the defensive end protecting for the bootleg, I'd keep the ball.
Kapp rolling up. Touchdown! And the Vikings take the lead.
Cleveland Browns and sub-zero temperatures stood between the Vikings and a spot in Super Bowl IV. Neither were any match for the resolve of Joe Kapp.
We're on the 5-yard line, and it's icy field. We called Bill Brown over the middle. We misconnected. I just don't go down. I'm going to go make the score.
Slips the tackle, goes over.
Kapp, I believe, wanted to give the ball to Bill Brown. Right. It's a busted play. They ran into each other. Instead, Kapp right up the middle, and you see what happened. 6 points.
Later in the game, I called a short pass, and it was covered. I looked on this side, it was covered. So what do? So I'm running down the field. If I had any kind of speed at all, I would have gone all the way. But then there's this obstacle. His name is Jim Houston. And I put all my moves on him, both of them.
He ran right through him. Houston went down and was out cold. Joe got up and Houston laid face down on the field. I'm sure to his embarrassment to this day, because he was certainly their best linebacker, maybe even their best defensive player.
It was something to feel, and when it feels that good, you just want to treasure that feeling and keep it with you and hope that you remember it when you get my age.
Where's the juice? Oh, yeah. Oh, look out.
We stuck with it. Towards the end of the game, we went to our running game. We wanted to run the clock out, and we stayed with it.
Have a little juice.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Get the camera right here.
Soda pop. Hard running. I'm going to throw it all over you.
Don't throw any on me. Let me talk to this man first. Any more questions?
And so when you win that game and you know there's one more to go, you start getting ready. You start getting ready emotionally. Your mind starts to think of what's the next one. Do we have another fight? Okay, bring them on.
We'll take a seat by Angelo. Maybe you could relive those moments.